Welcome to Fazza Poetry World, where hearts turn into poetry. I don't know what moment this is for you, but for me, it feels like a lifetime has led to this second. A second where silence breaks, where a heart that stayed quiet for too long finally gathers the courage to speak. Listen to me, not with your ears, but with that quiet place inside you, where truth feels heavy and soft at the same time. Because what I am about to say, it's not easy. It never was. I have carried these words inside me, like a secret I was afraid would change everything. And maybe it will, but hiding them has already changed me. Every time I thought about telling you, my heart would race like it was running from something. My hands would feel cold, my thoughts would get lost, and my voice would disappear before it even reached my lips. I was scared. Not of you, but of losing the version of us that exists in my silence. Because sometimes, unspoken feelings feel safer than real ones. But something changed, not loudly, not dramatically, just quietly. The kind of change that doesn't shake the world, but rearranges your soul. And suddenly, I could see everything clearly. You, me, and this invisible thread between us that I tried so hard to ignore. My father, he is not just someone in my life. He is someone I trust with my truth. Someone whose words carry weight, even when he speaks softly. Recently, without telling me, he tried to understand you. I didn't know at first, but when he came back, his face told a story before his words did. Serious, thoughtful, almost surprised. And in that moment, before he even spoke your name, my heart already knew. It was you. And my heartbeat, it didn't just race, it felt like it was asking questions I wasn't ready to answer. What did he find? What did he see? Did he notice what I feel? Did he understand you, the way I do? But when he finally spoke, his words didn't bring fear. They brought something deeper. He said, "You are kind." He said, "You are strong." He said, "You are different." Not in a way that separates you from others, but in a way that makes you real. In a world full of masks. And when I heard that, something inside me shifted. Because those were not just his words. They were mine, the ones I never said out loud. In that moment, I realized something I had been avoiding for so long. This is not a small feeling. Not something temporary. Not something that fades with time. This is real. And maybe the scariest part about real feelings is that they don't ask for permission. They just exist. I remember the beginning, not a big moment. Not something the world would notice. Just a quiet second. You were there, being yourself, smiling in a way that didn't try too hard, existing in a way that felt peaceful. And I don't know why, but something inside me changed. It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. But it stayed. And from that day, I never saw you the same way again. You became someone my thoughts would return to, without asking me first. The way you talk, the way you smile, the small things you probably don't even notice, they stayed with me. Like echoes, soft but constant. Sometimes I catch myself thinking about you. For no reason at all. No memory. No moment. Just, you. And I can't stop it. And honestly, I don't want to. Because thinking about you feels like peace, and chaos at the same time. And after what my father said, those feelings didn't just stay, they grew. Stronger. Deeper. More real. I started thinking about the future. Not in a complicated way, not in a forced way, just, naturally. And somehow, you were there. Not as a question. Not as a possibility. But as something that felt right. I imagine simple things, talking to you, not about anything important, but still feeling like it matters. Laughing with you, in moments that don't need to be perfect. Sitting in silence, but not feeling empty. Because some silences, when shared with the right person, feel louder than words. And those thoughts, they make me happy. But they also scare me. Because I don't know your heart. I don't know if you ever looked at me. And felt even a fraction of this. And that fear, it stays. What if you don't feel the same? What if I am just a passing thought to you? What if everything I feel, only exists on one side? These questions, they don't leave easily. But even with all that fear, I reached a point where silence became heavier than the truth. So here I am. Not perfect. Not fearless. Just, honest. I don't just like you. I care about you. In ways I didn't expect. In ways I didn't plan. I care about your happiness, even if I'm not the reason for it. I care about your peace, even if it doesn't include me. I care about how you feel, even when you don't say a word. Because sometimes, your silence speaks louder than anything else. And I listen. Not because I have to, but because I want to. I don't want to rush you. I don't want to pressure you. That's not what this is. This is not a demand. This is a truth. A quiet confession. That took too long to reach your ears. You matter to me. More than I have ever shown. More than I have ever said. And maybe, more than I fully understand myself. But I know one thing. If I want someone like you in my life, I need to become better. More patient. More understanding. More honest. And I am ready for that. Not just for you, but for the kind of love I believe in. A love that is not rushed. Not loud for the world, but deep enough to survive it. I am not here to play games. I am not here to hide. I am here, with my truth in my hands, hoping you will see it for what it is. Not perfect. Not complete. But real. I don't know what happens next. I don't know what your heart will say. And I am not asking for answers right now. Because some feelings, they need time. They need space. They need to breathe. All I want is for you to understand me. And maybe, if there is even a small part of you that feels something similar, we can take it slowly. Step by step. No pressure. No expectations. Just honesty. Just understanding. Just two hearts trying to figure something real together. Because what I feel for you, it is not temporary. It is not something that fades overnight. It is something I respect. Something I value. Something I don't want to lose, even if it never becomes what I imagine. And no matter what happens, I am glad I said this. Because some truths, they deserve to be spoken. And some feelings, they deserve to be felt fully, even if they scare us. So this is me, not hiding anymore. Not running anymore. Just standing here, with everything I feel, placed gently in front of you. And whatever you choose, I will respect it. But at least now, you know. And maybe, that is where everything truly begins. And maybe, this is not the end of what I wanted to say. Maybe this was only the beginning of a truth that has been waiting far longer than I realized. Because even after saying all of that, my heart is still full. Full of things I never told you. Full of moments you never noticed. Full of feelings that quietly grew in the spaces between us. There were days when I saw you happy, and I smiled without reason. Not because I was part of it, but because you were. And somehow, that was enough. But there were also moments when you looked lost. When your eyes carried something heavy that your words tried to hide. And I felt it. Not clearly, not completely, but enough to know that something inside you wasn't okay. And those moments, they stayed with me the most. Because it's easy to love someone when they're shining. But the real feeling, the one that scares you, is when you start caring about their darkness too. There were nights when I thought about you more than I should have. Not in a loud way, not in a restless way, but in a quiet, deep way that doesn't let you sleep easily. I would replay small things, your words, your tone, even your silence. Trying to understand you, even when you never asked me to. And sometimes I wondered, if you ever felt it too. That invisible pull. That unspoken connection. Or maybe, it was just me. But even if it was, it never felt wrong. Because what I feel for you has never been about possession. It was never about having you. It was always about understanding you, respecting you, and being there, even if it meant staying unseen. There were times when I stopped myself from texting you. Stopped myself from asking how you are. Not because I didn't care, but because I didn't want to disturb your peace. Because your peace means more to me than my need to be close to you. And that's when I realized something else. This is not just liking someone. This is something deeper. Something quieter. Something that doesn't demand attention, but gives it. Something that doesn't rush forward, but waits. And waiting is not easy. Especially when your heart has already moved ahead. I started noticing myself changing. Becoming more patient. Thinking more before speaking. Understanding things I used to ignore. It's strange how one person can change the way you see everything without even trying. You didn't teach me directly, but I learned from your calmness, from your strength, from the way you carry yourself without needing validation. And maybe that's what made me fall deeper. Not just for who you are, but for how you are. Because in a world where everything feels temporary, you feel real. And real things, they are rare. There is something else I never said before. Sometimes I imagine what it would feel like to be a part of your everyday life. Not in big ways, but in simple ones. Asking you how your day was, and actually listening. Sharing small moments that no one else sees. Laughing over things that don't even make sense to others. Being there, not as someone important to the world, but as someone important to you. And those thoughts, they don't feel like dreams. They feel like something that could exist, if both hearts agree. But again, there is that fear. That quiet voice inside me that keeps asking, what if she doesn't feel this? What if all of this only lives inside you? And I won't lie, that thought hurts. Not loudly, but deeply. But even then, I would never want you to feel pressured by my feelings. Because love, if it's real, it should feel like freedom. Not weight. Not expectation. Just something that grows naturally. So even now, after everything I have said, I am still not asking for anything. Not a promise. Not an answer. Just your understanding. Just the chance that you will see me. Not as someone confessing, but as someone being honest. And if your heart needs time, take it. If your mind needs space, have it. Because what I feel is not in a hurry. It has already waited this long, it can wait a little more. And maybe, in that time, you will look at me differently. Or maybe, you won't. And that's okay too. Because feelings, they cannot be forced. They can only be felt. But I promise you this, no matter what happens, I will never regret feeling this for you. Because you made me understand something I never fully believed before. That love doesn't always come loudly. Sometimes it arrives quietly, grows slowly, and becomes something so deep that even silence cannot hide it anymore. And that's exactly what this is. So here I am again, not adding pressure, not asking for more, just standing with the same truth, that you matter to me. That you are special to me. That what I feel is real. And whatever you decide, I will respect it. But somewhere inside me, a small hope still exists. Not loud. Not demanding. Just, quietly waiting. Maybe, one day, you will feel it too.